This is the LDS Business College Library tutorial for creating APA citations. If you need help building citations, go to the Purdue Online Writing Lab, check out either the APA Style Guide or the 6th edition manual, or come talk to one of the librarians at the 3rd floor reference desk. Every paper needs two things to form a full citation: a reference page citation and an in-text citation. Let's talk about how to build both reference page citations and in-text citations for both books and articles. We will start by going over reference page citations. Each citation follows a prescribed format. If the author is known, his or her name will go first. You start with their last name, place a comma, and that is followed by the first initial and a period, and the second initial, if it's known, followed by another period. If there are two authors, place a comma after the middle initial followed by the ampersand sign. If there are between 3 and 7 authors, place a comma between each, and before the last name, place another ampersand sign. If there are more than 8 authors, list the first 6th and then the last author. If the creator is something other than an author, write their role in parentheses following their name. For example, editor or producer. Books and articles start the same way. As you can see, we've listed the last name, comma, first initial, period, middle initial, period, comma, ampersand sign, and then the second author's last name, comma, first initial, period, second initial, period. When listing the authors, if there is more than one, don't list them out of the order they are presented in on the book or article. After author, we will place the date. For books and journals, the date will just be the year in parentheses followed by a period. For magazines and newspapers, you will list the year, comma, then month and day in parentheses followed by a period. If you don't know the date and cannot find it on the publication, write N, period, D, period, in parentheses followed by a period. This means no date. And here is our article and book example. We already had the author, and now we have the year too. After date comes the title. Book titles will be in italics with sentence capitalization. This means the first letter and proper nouns are capitalized with a period at the end. Article titles will also have sentence capitalization, but they won't be italicized. Articles are published in journals, magazines, and newspapers, so make sure you pay attention to where it came from. Here are our examples. You can see the sentence capitalization and the italics for the book title. If we are citing an article, the next thing in our citation will be the publication title. These are in italics and use title capitalization. This means that all words are capitalized except prepositions. Here's our example. The book doesn't have a separate publication title, so nothing was added. The article's journal title was added in italics with title capitalization. Next comes the publication information. For a book, you will need to find the city, state, and the name of the publisher. You will write out the name of the city, place a comma, abbreviate the name of the state, place a colon, and then write out the name of the publisher. If the publisher is an academic press, you can drop the city and state. If the publisher name includes an extra word like company, corp, inc, or press on the end, you can drop that extra word. For journals, magazines, and newspapers, the publication information is more involved. You will need to find the volume number, page number, and the span of pages where the article was published. When you're writing this information out in your citation, the volume number is italicized and it is just the number. Immediately after that, without any spaces, you will place the issue number in parentheses. This is not in italics. After the issue number, you'll place a comma, a space, and then the span of page numbers. This is just the numbers with a dash in the middle. There are no italics, and it ends with a period. Here's our example we've been building. You can see the publication information for the journal includes the volume number, issue number, and page span. And the books includes just the publisher information, which is the city, state, and publisher name. There's only one more thing we need to build the reference page citation. We're almost done. The last thing we need is the retrieval statement. This tells the reader where they can find the information you've cited in your paper. This statement usually starts with retrieved from. If you can find the DOI, you'll want to include this in your retrieval statement. A DOI, or digital object identifier, is like a permanent address for your source and is often attached to articles found in academic databases. If you can't find that, list the URL, and if that is unreliable, list the name of the database where you found your source. At the end of the statement, you will not put a period. Here are our full reference page citations. The book doesn't require a retrieval statement in this case because it is the hard copy that was used. The article's retrieval statement is simply lowercase DOI, colon, followed by the DOI number and no period. When using a DOI, you do not need to write out retrieved from. We made it through our reference page citations, so now we can talk about in-text citations. Every in-text citation requires the author's last name, the date of publication, and either the page number or paragraph number. Here are a few examples. If you quote someone, afterward in parentheses, include the author's names, the year, and the page number. If you paraphrase someone, do the same. Or, as you can see in the last two examples, you could state the author's names in your sentence. If you do this, place the year of publication in parentheses after the author's name, and place the page or paragraph number at the end of the reference. If you have any questions or would like help with APA, come ask a librarian at the third floor reference desk or check out the APA guide on the Purdue Online Writing Lab.